What's up, guys? Monkeytron, Ritvik, Simon, Duarte, NORAD. What's up, Bob? Yeah, I was in the Slack chat room. Dawn asked for an extreme stream. I just sat down at my desk. I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do an extreme stream. Why not? We just kind of had what appears to be a pretty good topping candle on Bitcoin, and that's probably it. That's probably it. You never know when these things are going to end. That's kind of the hard part. And Frederick, what's up, my friend? How are you? Long time no see. Long time no see, my friend. Yeah, so let's take a look at this on the daily chart. We were talking about this in the power hour today about how this volume candle was setting up to be a huge volume candle. If we had more selling coming in, it would be a massive volume candle. And it looks like that's what we're getting. We're getting a massive volume candle here today. And it looks like that probably will put in, at very least, a local top, but likely it may come back and retest on lower volume or something like that. But it's a pretty extreme drop. I mean, look at this daily chart now. I just drew this trend line a little bit ago, and we were right here. We've already eclipsed that a little bit more. We still have, what, 3.5, 4 hours to go? So, yeah, so there you go. There you go. It's broken. It appears to be broken. So from 14,000 down here to 12,000 in very short order. And there it is on the daily. Great volume. That looks like a pretty good topping candle so far, but we'll see we'll see what happens here. So a little bit of bounce back. On the 2-hour chart, we're 45 minutes into a 2-hour chart. Look at our volume. It's massive. Absolutely massive. And we came back down to a prior, let me zoom out here. I probably don't have the tether down 4.5%. How did I miss that? I got it at 99. I don't have it down 4%. Nice bounce off the low there. Let's see what the volume's like. Oh, pretty good so far. Pretty decent little bounce. I'm looking at Coinbase on my other screen, just watching orders flurry across the screen. There are quite a bit of buying being shown. I'm waiting to see some big orders flow through, though. At least on the actually being traded. You can see I got a 54 at 12,382 right now. That's why we're stalling right now. And it looks like we're rallying here a little bit more. Well, I will say that is a pretty ominous candle. One thing we haven't had a lot of is this. So this is a bit of change of behavior right here for this Bitcoin rally. We have seen these big drops come back tremendously, though. We'll see if that's the case here. I mean, it's already got quite a bit of volume here on the 15-minute chart. This is quite a bit of comeback volume, so maybe someone still eating it up here. Still down to the bottom half of that large 15-minute candle, though. That's a huge 15-minute candle. Usually what you look for is lower volume rallies to fail. That's called a dead cat bounce. We had one here already. I actually got out right there. It topped out there. That's actually right where I sold. And that's a pretty good bounce right there, though. That's a lot of volume right there. What's my volume aggregation tool? Pretty even between buyers and sellers. That's pretty even. I'm on Coinbase Pro. I don't know what you guys don't ever trade on Coinbase. If you're actually on literal Coinbase, you're doing it wrong. You need to go to Coinbase Pro. I have it up on my other screen. It's working for me. I'm not trying to place an order, but I mean, I guess I could try to buy a little bit just to see if it works. But I mean, it's all right. Let me do that. Let me play with a little bit here. Let me see. I'll just do a tiny bit. Yeah, that'll work. All right, so I'm just going to buy right now just to see. I don't feel like wasting any money. Stops triggered fine on Coinbase Pro. Yeah, Coinbase Pro seems to be doing fine. Yeah, I'm not going to put that order in. I got to manage a horrible order. All right. And you can see right now we're failing to go over a prior high, which is not bullish. So if you haven't sold yet, this is another selling opportunity right here. There's another potential selling opportunity. Now this thing could consolidate. This thing could do a number of things, obviously. But at this stage of the game, you pretty much want to be out of this trade if you're not already. Your stop at 13.1K did not trigger, really. Well, that's weird. Someone did ask about altcoins. That is a good question. So Bitcoin possibly just finished a very large rally. And we're going to either consolidate or go back into for a much deeper correction. And in terms of the altcoin market, that's a slightly different scenario. So usually a lot of the altcoins sell off when Bitcoin sells off. You can see that in EOS here down 9%. It just got sold off. I haven't looked at these charts yet. So EOS broke our trend line right there quite significantly. Litecoin testing this bottom longer term channel that we have formed here on the chart. So yeah, that may be potentially buyable for Litecoin all the way down there. You got Cardano about 1%. It also took it on the chin. So Bitcoin sold off. The alts are going to sell off a little bit as well, but they should flatten out in time and then probably come back. So yeah. Look at XLM. That's just about flat. There's some nice support right there for XLM, although it did undercut my declining triangle, at least on that chart. This one's not so bad. The Coinbase chart isn't nearly as bad. This one could potentially be about 5% off the lows. That's not bad. Not too mad at that. That could easily come back. You want to check on VIA, Vlad? Yeah, we'll check on VIA. Why not? All right. Looks horrible. Looks pretty bad. Looks pretty bad. Of course, everything looks bad against Bitcoin, so it's not that bad. Can't log into Coinbase Pro, huh? I don't know. I've been logged in, so I'm not sure. Apparently, they're having some issues. They probably do have multiple servers. I'm probably just on one that's working. It may just be dependent on the server you are. If it gets destroyed or not with requests. Everyone's DDoSing their own account at this stage of the game. Looks like Neo took it on the chin pretty hard right there. Came out of our symmetrical triangle nicely, and then just kind of fell apart with everything else. Daily setup on XRP. Yeah, XRP is one of the ones that we like. We've been liking, as a matter of fact. Yeah, we've got it in this larger triangle situation, and it looks like it's holding up pretty well. It's not really selling off. Bitcoin's actually holding up decently well as well, 12.5 right now. There's both of those trend lines that I drew. You can see we're still underneath that, so there's this recent high. There's that prior high. The volume aggregation tool. I don't know if I can sell that individually. I don't quite know how that works, to be honest with you. I know TradingView doesn't really have a store or anything like that. If you want to contact me directly, Fluxmaster, we can work something out. But you get that when you sign up for the Power Hour. Beast mode, head and shoulders on BTC. Oh, You talking like on a weekly or something, or what? Beast mode, head and shoulders. What time frame are you referring to? Man, this thing is pretty solid right here. Let's go take a look. So the 2-hour chart, 1 hour left in it. We have a massive bottoming candle. Looks a lot like this, just its big brother. And go to the 15-minute. We eclipsed that. We eclipsed that high. And now we're rallying back pretty nicely. Man, if this comes all the way back, this is going to be awesome. So if you guys remember my last video regarding that parabolic move in BTC, just so you guys know, this doesn't negate that. Let me just put that out there right now. This doesn't necessarily negate a larger parabolic move. This move right here has been very exhaustive, and it would definitely make sense that we would have a consolidation of some kind. So, you know, we can go on to form a number of things here. We can go on to form a cup and handle. Of course, that didn't work out exactly well how I planned. We can go on to form a cup and handle here. We can go on to chop around in a flat base for a while. I mean, what else we got? We can do a double bottom. You know, so this doesn't necessarily destroy this as a bull run. This could just be the start of another consolidation. So not enough time has passed. Excuse me. We'll know more tomorrow, obviously, later today, how this shakes out. Look, this could just come crashing down and then just come down, and we could go back into a deeper correction. But we don't know what's going to happen right now. The whole key to trading isn't to know the future, guys. You know, a lot of people say, what's going to happen next? Someone mentioned earlier, are we going to form a bear flag? Those are very disingenuous questions, not to throw people under the bus here, but you shouldn't be asking questions like that. You should be patiently waiting for the next formation. You should be patiently waiting for the next formation, and you know, take other opportunities as they come about. So if Bitcoin's going to sell off and Bitcoin's going to flounder about, I would be looking more towards altcoins for leadership and some potential gains. And that's pretty much, you know, I think that's what to do right now. I mean, Bitcoin after a sell off like that, you want to give it some space. You know, you want to give it some space. It could come right back, but you know, I don't think that's good trading strategy to just kind of, you know, hodl and all this stuff without stop losses and things of that nature. Not my style. Did I sell it all? I did, Monkeytron, yes. I'm very scared of extraordinarily large red candles. Yes, Jay, you have to go with the market. You can't forecast it. I mean, you can try to say, okay, in these scenarios, Bitcoin or whatever asset class you're trading typically behaves in this fashion, and you can look at that for bullish and bearish tendencies. But other than that, you just kind of go with the market. And this little rally here is not giving up. Okay, volume's a little bit lower. Looks like we broke that right there. We formed a beautiful little cup here, consolidating, and we'll see if we can break out. It's going to take a little bit more volume. What's up, Christina? And those volumes are still pretty big. Those are not small volume candles. Pedro says, is Bitcoin as crazy as it was in 2017? Yes, it is. That's what I'm saying. This doesn't have to be done. This definitely doesn't have to be done. This could come back, form a consolidation. If you're going to buy it, you know, I'm not going to buy it here, but if you were to buy it, your play would be a bounce. Your play wouldn't be for this to go right back into highs. That's very highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. Arthur with a stop loss. Good job. Good job. Oh, you didn't get stopped at? You had 11.7? Wow. That's a wide stop, Arthur, from 13,000 to 11,000. That's crazy. And you see we're selling off just a little bit from that. We'll see if that's able to come back. But yeah, it does appear that this is at least done. Where was my stop loss, Jay? My stop loss was actually, mine didn't get hit, and I actually sold on this bounce. So I actually didn't have a stop loss on it. Yeah. Everyone trades differently. But yeah, I mean, that was an excellent trade. That was a tremendous trade. I did get in and out of it a couple of times. You never quite know what's going to happen. So I didn't get the full move by any stretch, but had a good profit. Happy with the profit. I'm taking it. I'm not going to jump immediately back in or anything like that. I'm just going to wait for the next setup, see if there's any altcoins that are going to come back. Cardano looks like it's just bounced a couple of percent. So we came down to this price. This was our alert level, 096624. Was it the volume that got you? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, so the main thing, I mean, I was actually watching a movie with my kids when it actually went down. I just happened to come back in here. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Really, the reason you get out of this is, yes, number one, the volume. Number two, it blows through levels. It blew through here. It blew through here, 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 here. It blew through a lot of levels. You've got to be quick on that trigger. It's got to go. It's got to, when it breaks all those setups, yeah, you got to get out of it. We mentioned earlier putting stop losses about here, and then it rallied a little bit after that. So hopefully some guys from the Power Hour took heed of that and got stopped out at that 13.1. Oh, so is that where? Who said it had a stop loss at 13.1? It didn't trigger. That sucks. It was a. Who was that? It was a Power Hour member. I forget who it was. But yeah, that's why you had that stop loss at 13.1. I didn't quite realize that's exactly where that level was, and we're selling off back a little bit more. That's a good shorting opportunity, actually. Yeah, you, Ryan. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, see, you never know where these things are going to fail. You really just don't. And so it's a lot of people are going to try to play this. Oh, it stopped at the Fibonacci level, whatever. It doesn't, there's. Here's the thing about price action, in my opinion, about price action versus these very structured systems. The market is not that structured. It's a very fluid market. Give me one structured system that had Bitcoin going from 32 to 14,000. Holy crap. Just saying that makes me want to, I don't know what, but something outrageous. That's crazy. 32 to 14,000 in basically one move. I don't think L8 Waves had that in the cards. I don't think Fibonacci had that in the cards. You know what I'm saying? You just have to go with price action. You just have to go with price action. At least that's my opinion. That's basically how I trade. We use trend lines. We use some secondary tools. Elliott Waves did. Absolutely it did. The good old Elliott Waves $10,000 move trick, right? What's that a wave BB? They've gone all the way through the through the alphabet. They got to use double alphabet now. Yeah. There's a million people out there calling shots. I'm sure someone said, we'll top out at 14,000. And they're going to, yeah, double D wave. There you go, Christina. So, anyway, guys, yeah, that's about it for right now. So, let this thing consolidate out. Basically, is the way to play this, in my opinion. And it'll show you what it wants to do. It'll show you whether it wants lower, whether it wants higher. If you want to short it, you're at a pretty decent shorting opportunity, I think. It's obviously your stop loss is going to be a little elevated from here. 4% is not too bad. So there's a 15-minute chart right there. You could try to give a stop loss. If you want to short some, I won't be too mad at you. We're about 50-50 in this candle, though. So, I mean, obviously your best stop loss is up at the top there. But who wants to give a stop loss 10%? Especially on a short. Usually don't work out very well. If it goes down to fill the gap, the CME futures chart would be a 40% pullback. Oh, to that first gap? Yeah, if the futures have a couple gaps. I was thinking earlier, the stock market closed, and I wonder when the Bitcoin future markets reopen. About 130 sound good to anyone? Yeah, so that could be a potential reason. Some futures traders do like to manipulate markets in some fashion. I bet you they ended up selling a bunch of long future contracts, and they just tanked the crap out of it just to keep all that revenue. Could definitely be a reason why we tanked right there. It just happened to do with the time, and this is probably peanuts in compared to what they made on those contracts. I can't say that for certain, but welcome to futures trading. Welcome to futures trading. So, yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me today. Go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't already. Please go ahead and hit the like button. Hit it with impunity. Hit it several times, at least until it says you like it, and then tell your neighbor to hit the like button. I'm not going to be here for a tremendous amount longer, though. I mean, really not much to talk about. I just kind of want to jump on, answer some questions, see if anyone had anything to talk about. Yeah, closes on Friday. That's what I'm saying. Closes on, yeah. Well, the futures contracts, well, at least to know with a lot of futures, again, I've never traded the Bitcoin futures contract, but like the S&P and the NASDAQ futures, they close for about 15 minutes. They close for 15 minutes at about, well, I'm in Arizona. The market closed at 1 today. So I think it closes at 1:30, opens at 1:45. I think there's a 15-minute close. And like I said, started right there at 1:30. Right at 1:30 is when we dumped. So I bet you they had a bunch of contracts that they sold. So yeah. There you go. Ethereum's holding up pretty good, 5%. It was up. It was right up there with BTC. But yeah, these are times where you want to find assets that will be outperforming and that are holding up pretty strong, especially relative to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is so far the biggest number of contracts ever expires this week. There you go. There you go. There you go. What else do I got to say about that? So what happens? So let's think about the downside to this let's say a very professional trader. Everyone talks about institutions. Let's just say very professional trader. You think they bought at 11,200? Or do you think they bought it like 5,000 or 4,000? Where do you think those traders bought their Bitcoin? You think they really give two issues about a 10% drop after they've already made 150%? And then on top of that, they're probably selling futures contracts knowing they're going to dump Bitcoin. Knowing they're going to dump Bitcoin. I guarantee you that's exactly what happened here. I say guarantee, of course I can't do that. But anyway, the point remains, I guarantee that's exactly what happened here. There's just too much. I can just see some rich bastard saying, I'm going to dump this right at the open, watch. Boom! And then he does whatever he does with his buddies, and then dumps BTC, pockets all that futures money. Because that futures money, that's probably much bigger than this 10% drop on BTC. It had to drop at some point. Yeah, exactly, Monkey Tron. We can never know, but the exact time that this dropped is really what makes me think that. So could be anything. We never do get to know why the charts do what they do, but I get to see some douchebag with like multi-millions of dollars just screwing over everybody, just boom, dumping the whole market on us. And yeah, if the futures contract closes this Friday, this will not bounce back in 2 days, because I think today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, this will not bounce back in 2 days back to those prior levels. I can pretty much guarantee you that, at least. If it does, I will be greatly astonished. Although I will say this, I was pretty astonished at 11.5 when we went back and reversed back up. Aram's asking for XRP. What's up, Aram? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, it could have flipped a short too. That's true. He could have bought a bunch of. Well, I don't know if you short. Yeah, he could have sold the longs, bought the puts, dumped Bitcoin, and just like that just makes me feel rich just saying those words. Litecoin. Yeah, Litecoin came back down to a channel level resistance point that we've had here for quite some time. Right there. Volume here is heavy but not massive. So that could be a nice bottom for LTC. Overall, though, nothing's really broken. We've just been in this massive parabolic run. So nothing's really breaking down. We're still consolidating a lot of moves. Cardano is trying to break out. It's attempting it. And it failed a little bit right there, even against the dollar. It failed right there. So we could easily come back. It's not undercutting lows or anything like that. So it's not too bad. You know, same with XRP. All these coins, at least against the dollar, are holding up relatively well. Everything looks horrible against Bitcoin. So that's going to be what that's going to be. But on the dollar charts, you've got a lot of these that are looking fine. So yeah, pick your poison in terms of which one you wanna jump into. You just make sure you have a trading plan with a good risk reward ratio, and that's about it. Why do the currencies drop at the exact same time? Welcome to the world of algorithmic trading, Nicholas. That's the only real explanation for it. There's lots of computers trading all over the globe, looking at these markets. And so it's, yeah, so it's doing that. Yeah, you can't post a link. YouTube does not allow that. You're going to have to space it out or something. You know, just post it without the .com or something, and maybe I can try to pull it up. Oh, see me Bitcoin contracts? I could probably Google that. See me Bitcoin futures open interest. Where's Bitcoin? Where's the Bitcoin? They put it under FX? No. Yeah, I don't know where it is. It's okay. We don't need to go into it. Not a huge issue. Yeah, they hide the Bitcoin. Yeah. BTC dumping, says Fluxmaster. All right, there we go. Right back down towards the bottom, guys. Yep, there we go. There we go. That's why you gotta sell these dead cat bounces. You know, right up here at these highs. That's why you gotta sell those. That's a lot more dumping BTC right there. I mentioned earlier, shorting up here is probably pretty advantageous. Russ says last pullbacks we had a lot of 30 to 40% pullbacks on the way up. It's also a possibility this time. So I said earlier, guys, and I'll say it again, this doesn't, just because we're done here doesn't mean that this entire bull run is over. This is just one candle. We don't know what it's going to look like. I mean, obviously this undercuts this, and then, you know, if it just obliterates a lot of support, yes, it's probably, first of all, it'd be a very nice bounce. It'll be a very, very nice bounce when we do finally bottom. So I wouldn't mind taking advantage of that opportunity. But, you know, we could come back to it as long as this is healthy, and it's not looking very healthy as I'm sitting here talking. Yeah, it's definitely undercutting a lot of basing structure. We're getting back to where's my, okay, I'm on the 2-hour chart. Okay, that gives a little more perspective. Let's get out of that. We're just looking at Bitcoin. I don't need to have everything up here. So that puts things in perspective. The price action is fairly brutal, but it's not necessarily horrible. We had a very large volume candle here. It looks like we're going to do something like this. And so this is what I say, this doesn't have to be over. If you look at this, we rallied very hard right here. Very similar situation. We could consolidate this and come back. Right there and right there. Look at that. Nice little, this came up and then formed a little top. Rolled over, huge volume, just like what we have here, massive volume. Pretty much stopped almost in no man's land and then came back, but it did close above the channel, which this right now is also above the channel. Actually not too bad. This actually isn't too bad in terms of, you know, potential bottom right around here with that volume. That's not the worst potential bottom in the world right there. But I'd still rather buy off of some kind of a confirmation. On the way up here, during the Power Hour program, we talked quite in depth about trying to buy these. If you guys remember, we talked about trying to buy these breakouts from these pops on the downside. So we could be in another one of those situations here. So you never want to get, you know, too bullish or too bearish. You just want to kind of notice the chart. Look, you can be astonished at how good it's running. I was astonished at how good it was running, but you know, we all know it's coming. We all know the slap down's coming at some point in time. So you guys have to keep things realistic. This is why I say you have to give things time to play out. You can't just jump right back on the trade because you close at 50%. You know, no one knew this was going to continue. Nobody knew that. But by the time you get a little bull flag here, declining volumes coming down really, really low, very quickly as well, that shows you the selling dries up and then we just kind of go away. So, there you go. There you go. Yeah, could be pretty decent down here. We'll have to see. Robert. Coming right back down. A little bit of support right down there at the 11.5, 11.6 level. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, you got to give it time. Yeah, you just have to give it some time. We've seen candles like this before. It's nothing new. It really is nothing new. This is something new. That's something new there. Bought BNB on the bottom for a bounce, says Avia. Let's go check it out. I'm looking at it. It's up here, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. What's up, R. Pete? How you doing, buddy? Indications for the end of a bull run. We just saw one of them. That's a pretty good indication. Just a insanely large red candle. That's always a good one. You know, breaking of key support is always another good one. Breaking of key trend lines is another good one. Should we sell all Binance coins since it won't be allowed to use it in the U.S.? That's going to happen in September. It's still a couple of months away. We don't quite know what the situation is going to be for U.S. traders. So right now I think you're okay. But I'd say with a couple weeks to go, Binance hopefully should have a plan out. They say they're going to do a Binance US. I don't know the time frame on that. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure exactly what we're going to be doing on that one, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, I already sold our Pete. I sold on this. I'm not gonna hold through something like this. It's just too brutal. Forgot to say a lower top is also bearish. Oh, in terms of us going up, like what we talked about today. Two BNB coins. Oh, I hope not, Monkeytron. That would suck. That would suck a lot. No, it'll probably be the same BNB coin. They're just going to spread it out across the exchanges. That could be BNB's hope for world domination. Too bad Libra's going to probably beat them to it, even though they're going to be 3 years later and getting their coin out. Aram says you bought XRP at 41. Well, it depends on your trading strategy there, buddy. Are you kind of holding this for longer term runs, or are you just looking to trade this for the next pop? The next pop so far doesn't appear to be coming until Bitcoin settles down. And it may not even come then. XRP really just kind of does its own thing. Hold on, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. I got my kids over here, so. Hold on. All right, guys, I got to go. Sorry about that. Kids are getting in fights over here and stuff. I'm going to have to go be a parent for at least for a little bit. So I got to go, guys. Stay safe out there. Yeah, Bitcoin is probably topping out here for right now. Obviously, the market's good. So yeah, just have to wait for the next sector, if you will, to go up. So you're going to have to move into some altcoins probably, or just wait for maybe Bitcoin just consolidates from here. We'll have to wait and see. So, all right, guys. Yeah, Pete, see you in the Power Hour tomorrow. Thanks for joining me today, guys. Appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.